This video is brought to you by volunteeraudio.com, your #1 source for all things Harley Davidson audio. From individual radios, speakers, and amps to complete plug-and-play amp and speaker systems, we've got you covered. And once you've ordered your package from Volunteer Audio, it includes lifetime tech support. And we have the very best step-by-step installation video so you can install it yourself and save money. All right, so to the point we're going to be putting our Tour Pack speakers in, there's a few key things. First off, we're not going to be reusing these factory rubber grommets. They are just a push-in that when you tighten it in, it's supposed to expand. But when you put a really powerful speaker in and you reuse that hardware, sometimes your speaker will come out. And we don't want to lose a speaker. We don't want it to scratch a lid. We don't want any of the things that could happen from that. So we're going to do it a little differently. We're also going to take our speaker terminals and we're going to take a pair of pliers and we're going to tighten them up some. We do this because we don't want them to come disconnected on our Harley from the vibration. Robbie's getting our SV165 Neos together with our grills right now. And what we're going to do is we're going to use the screws that come with the speakers. And we're going to screw them straight into the plastic. By doing that, we don't have to worry about them coming out. We're not going to strip them. We're just going to go into it, but it's a much better way than using these little grommets. Now, our big terminal, which is also gold in this case, or copper, is going to be our negative, and our small silver one is going to be our positive. We've already put our grill on our speaker, and we're going to just rotate it just slightly so that we can go straight into that plastic. All right, so we're going to do the same thing on the other side, and we're going to have our rear speakers done. All right. So now we're moving on to our front speaker pods. We're going to remove our speakers just by taking out the 4 Torx T25 screws. New speakers we're using from Hertz, these SX165 Neos, are a direct drop-in replacement, no modification needed to the pods. All the different Neo speakers that we sell at Volunteer Audio are direct replacement. All right, so the white connector is going to be our positive. The larger black connector is going to be our negative. We're going to take a pair of pliers. We're going to squeeze those tighter to make sure they don't come undone later. All right, so we're going to take our Hertz speaker. We're going to look at our terminals, make sure we take the one that's the negative and connect that larger black connector to it. The smaller white one is going to go on the positive. Now both of those terminals on a Roadglide are going to be bent up just slightly to make sure they clear. Now it's going to drop right in. It even has the little holes for the little retainer, the little parts that stick out. So factory screws are all going to go in. Robbie's going to start each one of those, and once he's got them all started, he's going to tighten them all up. Speaker is completely waterproof. All of our Hertz motorcycle speakers are waterproof, the amplifier is waterproof, and all of it is 3-year warranted as well. It's the best warranty you're going to get from any of these companies. All right, so a lot better speaker, a lot better power handling, a lot louder, and a whole lot clearer. Robbie's going to swap our other speaker. It's going to be the exact same process. Then we're going to get over to the bike. We're going to put them back on and show you how to get all this wire management done in the fairing. All right, so now that we've got our speakers replaced, we're going to get our pods back on. All right, we're going to start with the top 2 bolts. They're always the easiest to get started, especially when you're trying to do this by yourself. You probably didn't catch it, but Robbie just snapped the USB right back into the top of that speaker pod. We want to make sure we do that as well. So now after those are started, we're going to get the other 3 in place. You want to get them all started before you tighten any of them. All right, so now that they're all started, Robbie's going back over, just making sure they're all tight. All right, so I want to show you something real quick. So if you do not have lowers, you're just going to plug the speaker pod back in. But we've added our new lower harnessing. It's very, very nice in the sense it just T-harnesses in. So we're going to plug one side of it into the factory connector and plug the other one right into that speaker pod. Now we have all of our front speakers connected to the front channels of the amplifier. And we've got our rear running off the rear. But it's just that easy to add that front lower harnessing. Let's get our other speaker pod on. Again, starting with those upper 2 bolts, it's going to snap our power outlet connector in there. Same thing over here. Going to take our lower harnessing, it's going to feed it up through this bracket over. T-harness it into our front speaker pod. Some of this we may unplug and replug as we're positioning wiring in here. But we're on the home stretch now. We've got most of this job completed. We're going to do a little bit of wire management. That's all that's left. Everything right now would actually play.